Last week, I told you Bitcoin was heading towards 80 to 84K, and that's exactly what has happened. Now, for full transparency, I also told you that I'm taking a short at 80K with a stop loss at 82K. And yes, I did get stopped out. My analysis was right. However, the execution wasn't really there. I've made a full video on this and I will be uploading this shortly this week. So keep an eye out on that. But what am I looking for this week? The bigger picture is definitely getting more interesting because, yes, Bitcoin could push higher and we may tap into the 84K region. However, I personally believe this is just a relief rally. And I've been saying this over and over again in my channel. And the real move is likely going to go to the downside first between 50 to 60K between this region. Now, let's go straight into it. I have two scenarios to show you guys. On the weekly time frame, the most important thing I want you guys to take away on the weekly time frame is where we are at. If I put in the dealing range high to the dealing range low, we know we are in the premium side of this dealing range. What does that mean? Given that we're on the premium side, we normally look for short opportunities. Now, having said that, we are also in a key area, which is this fair value gap between the regions of 79,000 to 83,700. Now, we're within that region, but we haven't yet tapped into the golden area. Now, the golden area is this fib level, the OTE between 61.8 to 78.6. This is your golden area where price may come into. Now, I said to you, I want to see BTC come into the regions of between 80 to 84K. We've so far tapped the highs of 82,833. So there is a possibility next week we can come up, and I will be looking for short opportunities down here if we do come up. And we may need to have a higher than usual stop loss because this will be a swing trade to the downside. So if on the weekly time frame we do close above this region, above around 79,500 to 80,000 on the weekly time frame, there is a possibility that next week we will come up, take out previous week's high, possibility of even coming further within this region down here. However, I am still looking to the downside and I will let you know if anything does change. And the most important part about being a trader is understanding the market and changing your bias when necessary and when needed. And I will tell you exactly when I will switch from bearish to bullish. So, where is the invalidation areas? So, the invalidation areas, what we can see, look at market structure because market structure tells us everything. If we zoom out right now, we've got bearish price action. After the retracement, we had bearish price action again, and now we're having a deeper retracement, and that retracement is within the premium side of this dealing range. Now, if we continue retracing, continue going up, take out these highs, weekly close above these highs, there's a possibility we can continue moving up from here. However, having said that, we would expect a pullback and we would expect price to continue moving to the upside, similar to how we have pullbacks on the way down. These wicks down here are your pullbacks. So we can look to get in for longs to the upside down here. So those are my invalidation areas. Now, scenario 2 is depending on how we close on the weekly time frame. If we close below the 80K region on the weekly time frame on BTC, we can move down from here and continue moving down. And these are the areas that I'm looking at between 60 to 50K, and I will dollar cost average BTC. Now, if we go on the lower time frame, daily time frame, let's see how price action is currently paying out. We can see very clean bullish order flow down here. I really like the way price has moved up from here, and I've taken some nice scalp positions to the upside. I've made a video about that as well, and I will share that with you this week. So stay tuned for that as well. Now, very clean bullish price action down here. What I'm expecting is you can see structure here. You can see liquidity resting below down here. We've created a high down here. What I would like to see is price comes down, takes out the high, and then we'll get an official daily break of market structure like this. If we get a move like that, I would definitely look for short opportunities, either as a high risk setup down here or a continuation to the downside. And I will take something like this down here on a fair value gap, an OTE level, an order block, etc. I will look for a double entry to the downside from here. Now, having said that, we may not need to get all the way to these areas down here, because if the move to the downside is invalidated, I do want more exposure in my long positions. Therefore, where can we look for price to take longs from? So we can see this clean fair value gap down here from this low to this high. If we zoom in a bit more, suppose we do have the move up, the move down, and then this move up down here, and price comes down and reverses from here. Well, then essentially we need to put in this new dealing range from this low to this high. We will be looking for long opportunities in the discount side of this dealing range down here, and we will look for key areas, key confluences such as this fair value gap. We have an order block down here as well, but let's look deeper within this dealing range, and then the possibility of us taking a long setup from here without stop loss and just below this swing low. Now, if price does come and takes out this swing low and we close below it on the daily time frame, this is invalidated, and then we will continue moving to the downside. However, if we wick it and close above this swing low down here at 84,000, I will be looking for continuations to the upside from here. So to be very, very crystal clear with you guys, scenario one to confirm is if we get a weekly close above the regions of around 80K, the expectation is that we will continue moving up from here, and we will likely reverse from around the regions of 84,000, or the possibility of us coming deeper into this 78.6 level just below 90K. Scenario two is that we fail to close above down here and we do move down from here, and we'll get that bigger move to the downside. Now, if scenario two, or even if scenario one does play out and we get the move to the downside, let's expose ourselves to some long positions at the same time, because there is a possibility we may not come all the way down to the 50 or 60K. Therefore, we will look for entries to the upside as we come into this fair value gap region between the regions of 78,000 to 76,000. Now, that is all on this video. If you like these types of videos, consider subscribing. I do weekly videos showing you a market breakdown and where I'm expecting BTC to go. I also do educational videos to teach you guys what I know and what lessons I've learned on my journey through trading over the last 10 years. So smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.